This is the Schwantz27 filling in for OGCP Da Silva, and I want to first give a huge thank you to him for serving in the military. It takes a lot of guts to make a big decision like that, which I'll get into later, but I'm always grateful for the people that are willing to sacrifice it all for the greater good of the general populace. I'll leave my political thoughts out of this before I get some angry Twitter and YouTube messages, but I know that not enough people actually say how much they appreciate what our troops do so that we don't have to. Little note about the gameplay in the background: Battlefield 4 Conquest on the map, Siege of Shanghai, and I finally killed that camping little cum dumpster over in the corner there. Final scoreline is 27-14, not great, but I am the MVP of the lobby, on the top of the leaderboard, and my team takes home the W, so I figured it's good enough to showcase here on GCP's channel, since he also plays Battlefield 4 a lot as well. Now, on to the commentary topic, and it's twofold here. Does fate determine what your path is in life, and how do the decisions like the one that he made affect you both in the long term and the short term? By the way, watch this part right here. I throw a stinger into the helicopter, it crashes into the side of that gigantic tall building, and then the rubble ends up landing behind me. Awesome. This is why I love Battlefield, just moments like that. Anyways, the decision that GCP made will definitely affect him in the short term in regards to his family and friends being separated from him for months during basic and perhaps beyond, depending upon the role he takes, and to a lesser extent, his YouTube channel. That's the reason why I'm here anyways. It's definitely going to take a bit of a hit while he's gone. I've had friends join the army and they come back much different people than when they leave. More mature, respectful of superiors, and of course, they have a new group of people that they must be willing to stick their lives out for during everyday drills. In the long term, these traits are going to help him make a better person. Now, if you go off to war like my buddy did when he went to Iraq, it puts your situation in perspective. And I mean situation, I mean what you have as a person. When you're in a war-torn country or a third world nation, the things that you take for granted stick out that much more. And speaking of taking for granted, sometimes we take for granted how big of an impact decisions like this will make. As you see me there pick up the McDouble with the stinger, toss that shit on the grill, that rocket definitely impacted that helicopter here. There is just explosions and fires everywhere. I got two stories for you. First one is about myself, and I was dead set on going to a college that was close to home because I enjoyed my friends, and I had a girlfriend at the time who's also going to a more local college. Even so much, I told my guidance counselor that I was definitely going to this school, and it was in the program for graduation that I was attending this particular school. I know that there's a tank around this corner. I run over to go put C4 on it, but then I get squished like a fucking bug by that Jeep. Holy shit, my body goes flying across the street. That was hilarious. My buddy Knots ends up blowing up the Jeep, but on my next lap I spawn back in and the tank is right underneath me. So this is some death from above. Peekaboo down there, I see you. I'm gonna pull the trigger. Bam, baby, there's the tank gone. Revenge is mine. My family told me that I should just go visit the other college that I wanted to check out anyway, and since it was only a 2-hour drive, it wasn't really that big of a deal. So, went on the trip, and holy shit, I was blown away like a firecracker on the 4th of July. That trip changed my outlook. I immediately wanted to go to college there instead, and I completely did a 180, just like Xbox did with their DRM policies. So, I went to the college that was further away and ended up growing apart from my friends, and eventually my girlfriend dumped me. But don't cry for me, Argentina. Now I'm in a much better spot. The college secured me an awesome job, and I met my wife during college, so things turned out to be better when all is said and done, even though they didn't look so good in the short term. The next one is about my dad and actually deals with the Army. He was an amazing baseball player and even got to try out at Yankee Stadium pitching on the same mound as many different legends before they actually tore that old stadium down. When he was in high school, instead of signing a contract with them, he decided to go to college instead, which was a huge decision. Turned down a career in the game he loved in order to pursue a college education to guarantee stability for the future. During his college years, he hurt his arm repeatedly playing football, of all things, not even baseball. So much so that he couldn't even pitch how he used to, and nobody in pro baseball wanted him anymore once he graduated from college. This was devastating for him, but Then, several years down the line, came the Korean War, and he was eligible for being drafted. During his draft examination, after he was picked to serve, the doctor found that since he couldn't extend his elbow fully due to the numerous sports injuries, he was exempt from joining the military. Could you imagine if he had gone off to fight in Korea? I might not even be talking to you today, depending upon how things went down over there. Now, is it fate that makes things turn out the way they do? Does everything happen for a reason? Personally, I think the decisions that you make have a ripple effect of which you cannot determine until you look in the bigger picture. I don't believe in a higher power or something called fate that is predetermined for us, but I do think you get what you deserve in life. I took a chance on the unknown, and since I put in the hard work and the dedication, I was rewarded for it. My dad made the right decision to guarantee stability, and it eventually paid off for him years later when he didn't have to serve in the war. I hope that GCP's decision will work out for him, and I think it will, because he's doing it with the best intentions. What will eventually fall out of it remains to be seen for him. But let me know what you guys think about fate, the sequences of events, and the consequences of your life decisions. Have there been an important decision that you've made in your life that have radically changed the way that you have your outlook on life, or the way that you are now, that maybe, had weird effects in the short term but panned out in the long term? Let me know down in the comment section. Of course, make sure you come over and check out my channel. I've been the Schwantz27, and I'm out like a boner in sweatpants. Until next time.